Good afternoon. Welcome to another series of our Language of Luxury. Today, we're going to be talking about responding to the market and its downward trend that we're seeing. And this is something that a lot of luxury agents have seen, but really don't want to really confront, or how do they address it? So I wanted to sit there and talk about and have a discussion around what are those steps and what can we do to reverse this, and navigating the challenges, identifying opportunities is what we're going to be talking about specifically. So first off, let's take a look at the market overview. Overall, we're going to have approximately 4.2 to 4.3 sides or properties sold this year. And previous to that, we had 6.1 million. So we're going from 12.2 sides, buyer and seller, to only 8.6. So that's a drop of about 30%. Redfin just had an article that they showed that luxury sales were down 45%. So we're going to be taking a look also at the contributing factors to that downward turn, the impact on luxury real estate, the strategy for survival and recovery, identifying new opportunities, and then come to conclusions on that. So some of those things are going to be the current state of the luxury real estate market. And if you look overall as a nation, we are down substantially in luxury real estate, and you can see the different cities that are down in it. However, Nashville has not been impacted nearly as hard. We are down approximately 3% of sales and transactions from last year to this year. The things we are seeing, though, is the days on market have been extended greatly, anywhere from 20 to 30%. And also the price that we're getting per listing price. Now, those we are getting actually at or above list price for the luxury products that we had, anything priced $1 million or over. We're now seeing that average has dropped down to 3% off of list so far for this year. And again, we're probably going to see more of that as these interest rates continue to rise. Today, the Fed announced that they're going to do a pause, I believe, but they're still looking at doing another rate hike. So we'll probably see interest rates in the 8%. And it was we did get some relief earlier in the year where jumbo loans were actually a better deal than a normal conventional loan. Now we've seen jumbo loans interest rates catch up with the conventional. So that's no longer the case now. So what is the size of the luxury market? And it's still quite large, however, it's dropped off quite a bit. And then also we'll look at the key players and the locations for that too. Now, the factors contributing to that downturn is one is economic factors that we have. We still have a global economic recession, even though we're not supposed to mention that name, recession. We have seen our GDP or GPT, gross national product, actually go down in the last 2 and 3 quarters. The other part is income inequality, and that's why we're seeing the strikes that we're seeing with the GM plants right now, also the Ford plants and other automobile plants, is because we've seen these CEOs have these great big increases and the workers have not. And you look at the inflation rate and what the increases have been from that inflation rate, we have not seen that income increase like what we saw back during COVID and the pandemic era, where people were paying just about anything to get folks inside their locations to work. Another one is consumer confidence. Again, with everybody talking about a downward turn, nobody's really good about going out and spending a bunch of money. So again, if you have a large home that you're looking to buy, then that can be a big concern. And I've got some people arriving late online and also in here. We are recording it, so you can always check it out later too. But on the consumer confidence level, again, we've got a lot of folks not wanting to go buy a second home or a first home at that. Or you've got, and we're going to see a chart on this a little bit later, where you've got these luxury people that have bought and they were looking at selling. Well, they decided not to sell right now. There's only a very few percentage of them that are looking to sell. Well, what that does is it has fewer properties on the market that you can buy then. And in the same kind of thing, we've got fewer people wanting to buy in that price range too, because of the consumer confidence. Now, there's also been some regulatory changes too. And some of those have been some tax reforms and also government policies. Some of them are concerned about, what can I get off of the with this election year coming up, a lot of times that pauses a lot of people as far as what they want to do. So with that, they're pulling that back. And then also the increase of IRS agents, more people are getting audited in their price range or in their income limits. So they're concerned about that also. So they're trying to make certain that they don't draw attention to themselves. Another one, we've got some we should say some leftover remnants of the COVID pandemic. And that is the remote work trends, where a lot of companies now are saying, you need to come back to work in the office. And that's being fought in a lot of different areas where people are resistant to that because they can live anywhere. And that's what also sparked, our market as far as just buying overall. And now they're looking at, well, I need to be close to work, but I need to keep that in mind as far as with that, I need to sell, but I've got an interest rate of 2.5 or 3%, and I got to go buy something at 6%. And I really don't want to do that because I can't afford the property. Because remember that old adage, for every 1% interest rate go up, it decreases your buying power by 10%. So if that's the case, and I could afford $1 million property at a 3% interest rate, and now it's 7%, well, that's a 40% difference. Now I can afford a $600,000 property to do the same house payment. So with that part of it, people are going, I don't want to buy a $600,000 property. I like my $1 million property. So that's what we're seeing with that. Now, this is a graph that was shared on Redfin. They did a report on it, and you can see luxury home sales sink, and this is year over year, and you can see where this was, and this ended in January 31st. And we've seen this tick up though in the last few months, which is positive. But you can actually see that year over year change. We were down 44% for the month of January. And you can see December, November, we were also down substantially. And the same kind of thing with the home market. Now we have seen this start to go back up. And one thing that we're blessed about too is in Nashville, we still have 83 people a day coming to Nashville, which helps us out. And then also our business economy has been very good with healthcare being here. We also have a lot of corporate headquarters here, and also the university and the state government being the #1 employer in the state. So all those things have contributed to us not being impacted like some of the other markets that you see in this graph. Now, one of the other things to look at too is where are the people looking? Because down at the bottom, their primary home that they want to buy, you can see it's going to be in the city center. Now, or they're going to be close to the outside of the city or in the city. Very few are going to be in a vacation destination for their primary home or low density. But you can see when they get a secondary home, which we see a lot, that changes. And we start to see more in the vacation area homes, but vacation area destinations, and also out in the country. And you can see if it's a vacation home, of course, that greatly exaggerates it. And then also investment property, you can see they go back to the inner city for investment. So it's really a great graph to see where people are buying. And again, if they're hesitant about spending their money for an investment because they don't know about the economy, we're not going to see those inside the city nearly as much because that's where most people buy. And this other one right here is reason for purchase of homes. And you can see, sorry about that, is investment or rental, 23%, vacation residence, 23%, secondary residence is 23%, and primary residence, more than 6 months of the year, is 30%. And you can start to see that investment part here is one of the things that we're getting a large change from, but you can see now that's starting to go down as far as the vacation resident, and they're looking at more investment. If you took $1 million and invested it in real estate, and you also took $1 million and invested in the stock market, you would actually come up better on real estate overall. And the reason for that is because of the tax breaks, also the rental income you're getting in for it, because what that does is you can go take that money and then invest it again. And this is something Goldman Sachs people actually looked at, and at first they said, oh no, the market's going to outperform. But when they added the tax benefits in for real estate, they found that it far out exceeded what you could get in the market. And people are looking at that now too. So the impact on luxury real estate because of this is we've had a decrease in demand. We've had falling property values. Again, we've only seen that as far as list price, about 3%. We have seen the average dollar per square foot fall too, and that's been about 5 to 6%. And also the extended time on market has increased about 20% for days on market. And we've had increased competition. And this is because a lot of people saw in the last 2 years, the luxury market was doing so well, everybody wanted to be part of it. And said, I want to do that. And then these were glamorized on shows too. So you've got more and more people getting into it. And then they're finding out that, hey, this is a pretty tough gig right here. Because you have to differentiate yourself in the luxury market. And that's one of the things KW does very well with our KW luxury division. Because on that part of it, which is out of corporate, we don't have one here, but on that part of it, what they do is they will get you listed on the Wall Street Journal, Marketplace, Barron's. There's 2 other ones and they're slipping my mind right now. But they will actually list those on there. Then they also have different symposiums that they do, and they have their own Facebook page, and they also have their own events too. And then we have several people that have spoken at the Market Center here that are top agents for Keller Williams, such as Adam Dow. He just sold a $14 million property up in New Hampshire. Nicole Gary, she is a great agent up in New York City. She just listed a $59 million townhome. And the pictures on it look great. The website that she had on it too. And then Jeff Yarborough, he is in Beverly Hills, California, and he is our ambassador there for the West Coast there. And he does a great job too. Go ahead.
What is the price level that you consider luxury starting?
That's a great question. With Keller Williams, it depends on the market.
Exactly.
Minimum
Totally.
is 700,000. Okay. Williamson County, I believe, is 1.1 million.
Yeah, I figured Williamson would be a bit higher, so 1.1.
Yeah, but most of it's going to be 700,000.
So
And
the other areas surrounding Nashville
is approximately 700,000. There's another one in Memphis that is a little bit higher, and there's one in Mount Juliet that's a little bit higher.
That was us.
Yep.
I'm unfamiliar, which is what we sold.
But those are the couple ones that will be higher on that. And there's actually, you can go into Command and get to the Keller Williams luxury site once you become a member, and you can actually plug that in and you can see if that county, what that minimum number is. And then once you do that, then you get your 4 properties that you've sold in the last 2 years, submit those, and then you're actually designated as being part of KW Luxury. And that gets you the ability to use the KW Luxury logos on your marketing.
May I ask one other question? Do you, just a estimate, if you don't know for sure, what is the median price here in Williamson and in Wilson County? Even in Rutherford?
We send it out every month.
They just had the market report.
I was just
But
curious
this
where we
market
are.
center.
I'm not
the
in there
average-
yet. I'm just checking everything out.
Yeah, the market center here is 550.
Market center,
Yeah,
is that considered
that's-
median or
That's Keller
average?
Williams, that's our average.
Oh, okay, that's your
Okay.
average. You don't know what the median is though?
It'll
I'm
vary,
curious.
because you got Paula Heingardner, she's a great luxury agent for us here,
Okay,
and she does just a fantastic job. And she's developed her business over 12 years.
Yeah.
So, and she started off as a single agent, slowly worked her way up. Jane Campbell, another great luxury agent here too. And again, she started off just selling to her friends and stuff, and as her friends moved up, she moved up in price point too. So she's done an exceedingly great job as far as developing her business. And both those are single agents, and you've got different teams too.
gotcha. Thank you.
My pleasure. Now, strategies for survival during this time is one, diversification. And this is exploring new markets. And when we talk about new markets, there's other ways that you can sell luxury products or homes. And we're going to talk about those in just a minute. Other is pricing strategy, coming up with competitive pricing. And this could be through discounts through lending. It could also be with how it's being put together with 1031 exchanges. So having a 1031 exchange agent, Luke Hayes, is great. He does a lot of training here in the area. And I can get you his contact information, but he's great at 1031 exchanges, and he has helped my New York buyers sell a property there and then buy here. So it's not something where you need a different one in each state. Another one is marketing and promotion, and this is probably the biggest one. Your online marketing is really the key for luxury selling. It is not print advertising. If you're advertising in print advertising, you're making your client feel good because they can see it in the magazine. But 51% of people buying their products online. Your online presentation has got to be something just to knock your socks off. And I'll show you guys a couple of examples of that in just a second. Also virtual tours, and this is more than just Matterport. Matterport is kind of the low end, and it's still one of those things where you click around, you get stuck in a corner. You don't want to do that with a luxury listing.
Oh, yeah.
People just want to sit there and hit a button and then have you walk them through the property. And it should be something where it could even be a voice overlay. It's just like you're showing the property and you're telling all the features and benefits. And I'll show you some examples of that too.
I had a really good one for mine that my agent was phenomenal. And that's how we sold it before it hit,
And it does make
before it hits market and went through TikTok and all kinds of cool stuff. So
another one is service levels. Increase that to make it a unique experience. And if you're uncertain what that means, there's a book called Unreasonable Hospitality. I recommend you all read. And Will Guidero wrote that. And he had the #1 restaurant in New York City and the world. Okay, and he slowly built that. But what he did is he made a unique experience for everybody that came in the restaurant. And you read through that, and it's just a step-by-step progression. And then he started to systematize it, where it was still unique, but it was something where just about anybody could help them have a unique experience. Another part is reduced operational costs. And again, this is one where you want to take a look at and see what are you giving out. Is it the cliche bottle of champagne? And one of the things Will talks about is he bought a property, and he's bought several properties. As a matter of fact, what he had inside was, you get the bottle of champagne saying congratulations on your house. He goes, if that agent really would have known me and really wanted to make it a unique experience, when my wife and I were looking at the house, she actually said, this is going to be a great place for me to do my yoga. How cool would it have been to have a yoga mat rolled up with a candle there and said, I hope you enjoy your new space.
I've just been thinking about this because I came from hospitality. And how do you, really, anyway, my brain's been thinking about that.
They're going to use that yoga mat how many times in that candle? Where that bottle of champagne, they use once and it's done. One of the things Gary talks about all the time is anytime you give out a gift, it should be usable and durable. So it stays around a long time.
Yes.
Because that way, every time they pull it out, they think about it.
And say thoughtful. I had thought.
Kristen Stayback, she has Cutco, and that's why knives are so great.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get hers, she has white, black, and red handle. Always get the red handle because of the sharpest knives. And when you have Thanksgiving and you're cutting stuff up in the kitchen, they go, that is a really good knife. Where'd you get that? And it's going to have your name and phone number right there, and it's a red handle, so it always sticks out. So think about those kind of things. The other part too is second home market. Now, these are the couple areas where you're diversifying. Third home and Pasco. What these people do is they help people buy vacation homes. And these are things where you can become a member, you can sign up for a seminar. Some of these are homes that you buy and then you share them with other people.
Yes.
Okay, which is a great program for you. But it's a great way for you to help them buy luxury listings. And if you're listing them, you can also contact and say, would you have any interest in this? So again, it's another avenue to sell.
It's not timeshare though, is it? Yeah.
Okay. Another one is technology integrations. I need to spell that right. With that, smart home features, this is becoming bigger and bigger. What type of technology are you putting inside the home? Virtual property showings. And again, going back to the smart home features, as far as just turn on the lights, okay? Turn on the fireplace, dim lights, lock the door, set the alarm, set the temperature. I mean, just by saying it out loud. And then virtual property showings like we talked about. Another one is green certifications. More and more people are wanting their homes to be energy efficient properties. So the conclusion is, recapping the key points is, one is understand where the market is. And it's not something where it's doom and gloom. What it is, it's giving you opportunity to capture market share. Because you're gonna have people doing it the same way that they've always done it, and they're gonna find out that's not working. Okay, the other part is being aware of what those new technologies are that you can bring to them. As far as with website development and also adaptability and resilience to it. And what this is you know, if the market's down a certain percentage, like 30%, you need to increase your activities 30% to do the same amount of business. It's like that old car, it's not as efficient, so you have to put more gas in. But that's what you're gonna be doing. And then also encourage innovation and forward thinking. Don't really get tied up with, all right, this is the way we've always done it, or we gotta advertise in this magazine. Those are $3,000 a month. And do you really need to put that cost involved? Okay, do you need an in-house person where you can get a virtual assistant to help you with it and save you from 50,000 a year down to 12,000 a year? And then what could you do with that $38,000 difference as far as helping your clients out for market their properties and give them a unique experience? So, questions?
Have they looked at any potential like projective trends going forward into 2024? Obviously, the
Yeah.
election's really gonna impact a lot.
They actually see that the market as we see it today is not going to be, is going to stay this way for the next 18-24 months.
Okay.
So
Do they see any more downswings even more so?
could be. They see interest rates going down slightly.
Oh, okay.
Okay. When it means slightly, it's going from like an 8
Oh, really?
to about a 7, 7.5. Did they take a pause on it? Did they
Well,
announce
no, we're still about 5 minutes away from the
Okay.
announcement, so.
They're talking about it's going to be paused.
Yeah, I was listening to it in the car and realized, looked up, I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to be inside, so. I think the expectation is a pause, but we'll see what they say.
Well, they always like to say certain things and do completely something different.
And then I'm going to show you real quickly as far as what some of those walk through with the
Yes,
voice override with, or voice over would be. Let me bring that to you here. Because we did it on some new construction that we listed.
That's really, really helpful.
Mhm.
We should do the same thing here. I just got really lucky to have a remarkable agent here. I ended up finding without looking for one. I was gonna do it myself.
Here's one of them.
The Diamond 5 Group presents Centennial Loft Homes. When you purchase a Centennial Loft home, you notice the difference immediately from other
And I won't
builders.
play the whole
The
video.
convenient location is
And I'm
close
gonna
to the
fast forward
university,
this out of here.
downtown, and the interstate. The open floor plan is spacious, boasting 15-foot ceilings and facilitates
talking about
family and friends to visit while
also
watching
talking
TV
about
or working in the
family.
kitchen.
Make
Your
it go,
home will
"Oh,
become the preferred
family
place
should
for
be here
family
too."
events and gatherings.
Go up here some more. Because there's certain parts where it just walks through, there's really nothing to say at that point. Mhm. Have an indoor outdoor type system. But the nice thing about this is it's actually a block, so they get an idea as far as how it looks like out. We're gonna go out here and talk about the balcony here in just a second.
The Julianne balcony overlooks the quaint neighborhood and is made of moisture shield, which carries a lifetime warranty. Thus, never a worry about splinters or replacing warped and cracked boards.
So you can see the idea as far with that is you're actually giving them something extra and elevate that presentation of their luxury home.
That's great.
And then I've got one other one I'll show you here, and I'm gonna have to go to the Facebook page to find the location on it. So hopefully none of my friends say anything off color here to me. And I'm gonna look up Nicole Gary. She had the great listing on this thing. For the listing, I want to show you the website though for it. Jeanette Spinelli's another great agent too. She has done that also with setting up its own website for the property. Here it is. That's the article on it. She did a news release for it too. Here it is. It's on the website though. And one thing Nicole Gary did was she went into different areas to look at, you know, what are watches, and they actually call them timepieces. And what's the different timepieces? And then she went to the cigar stores to learn about cigars and stuff. Then she went into the jewelry stores and said, tell me about diamonds. And you can see this is her website. It's still got all the information where you can go through and find out about her team and stuff, but you can see all about this one property. And you can go down here, give your square footage, explore by room. Now, here's the cool part about it is you can explore by level too.
That's great.
So if you want to go to second floor, notice that the floor plan changed. Now you got photos for the floor plan here. Okay. Very elegantly done. And then you can go to the third floor if you want. And it'll shift over to the third floor and show you the layout for it. Again, the photos change for it. And the fourth floor, and the fifth floor, and the wellness center, which is really cool down here. You get into the sauna and stuff that they got here, and then also the roof terrace. So just a very elegant website. And again, if you got a $59 million listing like this one is, that would be the expectation. It wouldn't just be just
Absolutely.
put a number, you know, in MLS and say, here it is, or hey, I did this, and then also I've got these great flyers inside the home because again, 51% of the people are going to find it online, and then you can send out this link to other agents, and other agents can look at it and go, wow, that is a great property. So you can 28% will find it through recommendation through an agent.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's why you want to get it out to them too.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised more don't find it online.
Mhm.
It's pretty much how I've always found everything.
And then 22%.
Because we moved so much, so I had
traditional
to.
ways.
Yeah.
So, any other questions? Right, well, that concludes it for the day. I'll have the link for the recording for this on the Facebook group where it said language of luxury, so you guys can look at it later too.
And you're doing this equally, right?
I am.